Yeah, for the section all time. Yo, G, where you at? We make them feel like, let's go, G. Yeah, y'all already know what it is. Shout, stay for, here we go. I got a phone to the cause I want my car. I'm in the outside, oh, please tell me what you're wearing. Whatever, I know it's good on you. Right, I never took that thing. I know you're tired, cause you had no sleep. Good, sometimes go to baby. See what I'm trying to say, cause I'm on my way. Oh, it's me, baby. Let me, I got a whole lot of love to give. Oh, my baby. Oh, it's me, baby. Let me, I got a whole lot of love to give. Girl, anything that you need, you have the one that I understand. Yeah, I can't wait till I'm ready. Just thinking about it. You be doing everything, baby. I'm looking at all the energy. Just get the thing ready. But what I'm trying to say is I'm on my way. On my way. Let me, I got a whole lot of love to give. Oh, my baby, my baby. It's me, baby. Let me, I got a whole lot of love to give. Baby, say it, darling. Don't you love me, baby? Don't you love me, darling? Oh, baby. Do my name, baby. Oh, baby. I'm on my way, baby. On my way. Let me, baby. Let me. Oh, baby. Oh, my baby. Baby. Let me. I got a whole lot of love today. I'm on the freeway changing. Straight away like crazy. You take it up, tell me I come back to you, baby. I'm coming for you, baby. Oh, the song is sweet. Hear me calling, hear me calling. What's my name? What's my name? All right, hello, guys. Good evening. I hope y'all like that Gerald Levert, didn't y'all? I've been listening to that song for like a couple of days. Hello, guys. So I've had this show scheduled for like a week now, and I'm just now getting a moment to actually do the show where I want to come and speak to you guys about when it comes to your love work, in particular your twin flames, soulmates, karmic lovers, lovers from a previous lifetime. Okay, some of y'all witches got lovers from back during the Crusades, during the witch trials. So it's a lot of complicated stuff happening. And I mean, love is like, you love somebody. I mean, you can tell within 5 minutes of meeting somebody whether or not you could possibly love them. I mean, obviously, you want to take time to get to know people, but love is pretty unconditional. It's something that you can't really get away from it when you really love somebody. You try, but you're kind of trapped. It's called love, okay? Hello, Margarita. How y'all doing? So, a lot of y'all, when it comes to your love work, love spells can sometimes take 24 hours to get somebody to open their love channel or open back up to you. Sometimes it can take a year. Sometimes it can take 6 months sometimes to get somebody to respond to love work. Now, a lot of people are like, well, why would you need love work in the first place? But a lot of people are totally wrong. This is what I've noticed. I've noticed a lot of people with a series of bridges burning behind them. If they really were concerned about their love life, they would be focused on why. What happened with this one? What happened with that one? What happened with this one? What happened with that one? And so you have to look at that because what is going on? What is going on with people as far as how they are when they're conducting their relationships. And so just to let y'all know, it's usually the man's fault. Hold on, y'all. So, guys, we all know, sorry about that. I had to send a text message. We all know that religion screwed up probably 90% of men on this planet. There used to be a time when men and women would get along, but then there was other factors. And so, back when things were not as complicated, but they got complicated really fast when it came to religion. So, you have men out there that don't respect women. You have men out there with absolutely no discernment. You have men out there that do this, and this is one of my biggest deal breakers. I cannot stand when a man allows outsiders to affect the way that he feels about me. Like that kind of, and then I think that that in itself is a game within itself. That's just a game. So there's certain things that I don't know, it's so weird, but I think for somebody to be doing those things in the first place, there's a lot of spiritual work that they need done on themselves. For example, there's men that are under the bondage of their fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, mothers, sisters, brothers. If a person doesn't, if a person cannot conduct themselves, then so there's a lot of people that are not free to love. They're not, their minds are not free. So, for example, a lot of y'all will want to put love work on somebody, but he's in like a mental prison that he can't get out of, can't discern, can't decipher. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's important to understand. You have to have a understanding is not just so somebody else can make a fool of you and say, haha, you understood me, so you're foolish. No, understanding is for you so that you don't get it twisted. And I mean, we feel sad. It's very sad when you see somebody in a mental prison. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of women come to me to get head work done. Matter of fact, now I can, just to be honest with you, when it comes to investing into spiritual work for a man, you need to be sure that this is somebody that you want. But I think that removing a lot of the crap and crud that is in their head is really important. Okay, so also breaking chains and bindings and all kind of weird stuff that they done picked up all over the place. Mainly it started at home is where the main factor was at home with their parents and their grandparents. That's actually not true, Dre Drizzle, but thank you for coming. We appreciate your input. This one of the reasons why a lot of people are unhappy because they think the way Dre Drizzle thinks. Love is actually not a game that we play to win or lose. If you think of it that way, you're gonna always lose. That's not what love is, honey. And I think that a lot of the twin flames, the divine lovers, are here in this lifetime to teach that. Okay, I don't know who told you that, who taught you that. Maybe it was some confused man. That's just like saying life is a game, Dre Drizzle, I bet you you think that, this world should just look like a big video game like Grand Theft Auto. That's what you think, don't you? With streets and tall buildings and stuff. No, you're so totally removed from nature. Love is actually primal. It's instinctual. It's not a game. Games is something that's made up. Love is not made up or fake. So I feel like a lot of y'all that have been hurt, and we know y'all that have been hurt. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into people that have been hurt that are constantly on the rebound trying to hurt somebody else. You're saying that because somebody that didn't really love you played with your heart for whatever reason, manipulated you, and you found out that they didn't really love you. That's why you're saying that. And I can guarantee you, Dre Drizzle, that unfortunately you have left some poor, unsuspecting woman crying and tore up inside because of that attitude. I'm pretty sure that you have. I would, hey, I'm going to let everybody know if you look at love the way this person does, you'll never have love. You don't know what love is. If I ever see anybody say that, then I know you don't know what real love is. You don't know what love is, and a lot of people don't, just to let you know, because a lot of people they 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 choose their love path based upon society. And people that are just slaves like that to the mind, these I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the energy that this is the reason why they made Romeo and Juliet. This is the reason why these romantic love stories have been told, because love is a lot deeper than that. It's a lot deeper than who your mama like or who your daddy like or who, no, it's not that. And so we have a lot of ancestors right now that are trying to decide love for people too. Your ancestors cannot tell you who to love, in particular when it comes to biracial relationships and things of that nature. Now, your ancestors are never going to tell you, oh, well, that's the only way that you can make it in this world, is if you somehow go outside of who you are, because that's not where we're at right now. Totally not where we're at. So I think that most of y'all, especially a lot of y'all running around the internet talking about, oh, I can't love a black person even though I'm black. Oh, I don't like light-skinned blacks. Oh, I don't like dark-skinned blacks. Oh, I've got to go date this other race, because you still don't know what love is, because you don't love yourself. So none of us are mistaken by that at all, because typically when people date outside of their race and it's genuine, nobody's saying anything negative about their own race. You don't have to, because what you have is real. That's fake. That's you getting upset because somebody from your own race hurt you And so you decided, oh, I'm going to decide to discount a whole race of people, millions of people of that same race. Oh, you're not good enough for me because ignorance. Ignorance. I see a lot of y'all walking and talking in ignorance constantly. Love is unconditional and love is blind. And love don't have nothing to do with what none of y'all. Love ain't no AIDS test result. What the hell is that? Love ain't none of that you talking about. Y'all are totally confused. I'm just telling you. So I don't even want to hear that um sector logic. Y'all all need to be infirmated. And all of y'all need to go into the oven and bake a little bit more because you don't know what, don't none of y'all know nothing that y'all talking about. All of y'all sound like y'all just trying to sound smart, but at the same time, the smarter you try to sound, the dumber you sound actually. So T God, is that the God? It's this kind of programming. It's this kind of programming that is a manifestation of years and years of learned behavior of hatred. That's exactly what I just said, but that's a minority. There will always be a minority. The majority of people are going to date within their race, like what I do. Okay. So you go and do whatever colors you want. I know that if you at the same time are dating a person outside of your race while showing hatred for your own ancestors, you ain't gonna get far. Okay. All right. Let's move on to what we were talking about, Dre Drizzle. Before I have to put you on timeout, sweetie, because you may have to go on timeout because you still confused. Only desperate people experience love from that perspective. Oh, I'm so angry, it's those black people, or oh, I'm so angry, it's those white people. You're desperate and you sound ridiculous, and nobody wants to have a conversation with you about love. Nobody. Nobody wants, nobody. We don't want to have a conversation with you, Dre Drizzle, about love. You are the last person that we want to talk to about love. Trust me, we see all of your comments all over YouTube. You don't know anything about love, honey. Not anything. You don't. Oh, T God means triple goddess. Okay, well, that's cool, Black Rain. That's cool. Okay, so back to what I was saying. There's many, many men, and you can see Dre Drizzle in the chat room with years and years and years of subliminal and subconscious programming. This is the reason why so many people are having problems. Over 60% of marriages end in divorce. The numbers have climbed because, first of all, most of those people that are divorced shouldn't have never got married in the first place. Okay. People marry the wrong people for the wrong reason based upon circumstances, based upon current events in their lives. Sometimes a lot of those people married just because they thought it made sense. I know that 18 years ago, was it like 18 years ago? Yeah, it was about 18 years ago. I was proposed to, and I kindly and graciously declined. I declined the marriage proposal, and it was one of the best things and the smartest things that I've ever done. That way, when I get married, it's for love. It's not just because, oh, I'm trying to trap you. So many of us, yeah, black people, the program of the baby, because I don't know if y'all remember 20 or 30 years ago, with black people, it was all about breeding. Remember? Y'all don't remember black people talking about how we had to breed so that it'd be more of us? And y'all notice that, but then A lot of the breeding took place in the welfare system. So Dre Drizzle, if you were, you know what, you know why you're a gigolo, because you have been hurt. Same difference when men start sleeping around with a bunch of women, it's because they are hurting, just like with women. Okay, you're in a church of goddess with intuition. You're only a gigolo because you're hurting. Okay, a person that feels good about themselves, a person that is and I'm not trying to judge people that sleep around. I don't understand why they try to commune with me so much, because I'm not like that. But so you being a gigolo in my chat room makes no sense. What are you doing here? Is the question, because we don't go around, we don't do that kind of stuff, hon. Never have. Never have. Okay. So I don't understand why gigolos and all that are, this is incompatibility. I don't even unless you're trying to, I don't understand why you're here. Nah, I just have too much love for just one person. I don't believe that you have the ability to love anybody. That's just my guess, just based upon your energy, based upon you being here constantly, you and the things that you say, and then the other things that I've seen you say in other chat rooms and comment sections. I just really don't believe that you have a lot of self-love. So I think that, again, the narcissistic love that y'all have showed, which is not love, it's narcissism. That's not love. All you people hate each other. So stop trying to convince people that you have a real love relationship. Stop trying to lie. We all know that it's not the truth. Okay, especially if you're over here from that black sector, don't not, all y'all hate each other. There's no real love over there. That's why you're always over here. When you see somebody that's capable of real love, you want to exploit them, which is what you do to all of your partners and the people in your lives. Why you are here, I have no idea. I have no idea why you people are still here. We have nothing in common, especially the behavior displayed the past 6 or 7 years. We would never behave that way. So I don't know what y'all doing over here. I've seen you talking crazy and others. I know you're a troll. Anyway, ladies, y'all have to look at the other stuff. I've had married ladies. You know what? Let me go ahead and time you out, because you're trying to derail the conversation, is what you're doing. Okay. Why? I don't know. It's weird. Okay. You may want to think about investing in a generational hex remover, because many of you guys are married, but you're horribly unhappy. You live very stressful lives. It's a lot of stuff going on with y'all. Some of these men and women have bindings on them. They're in bondage. Sometimes it's an ex. So there's outside influences that you have to look at as well that does influence that person. And people will say, "Oh, well, that person really doesn't love." Oh, because no, there's a lot of people under mind control. A lot of you guys' future husbands, wives, they're under mind control of something else, or even somebody else. So it's not just that, oh, there's no simple explanation for it. It's all based upon individual experience. So just doing love work, that's you have to do everything else, and see, you have to decide, because like I said, I have married couples come and pay me each get a generational hex remover for both sides. Because everybody family messed up. Everybody's is, especially the past 500 years, unless you were able to be a free thinker. And many of our elders were not free thinkers. They was always, Lord Jesus. Oh, and it never got better, and they never did a damn thing to make it better. So it is what it is. Okay. So a lot of y'all, and it's not just a man that lacks romance or emotional, capability. It's also health problems. There's health problems that can run in people's family that you can pass down to your children if you're not careful. These particular problems, everybody in your family want to say, oh, well, everybody gets it. Everybody. They're just programmed to say that, oh, we all have our little curse on us. Everybody in the family is going to get it. And if you don't get it, they all looking at you like you crazy. Uh-huh. So now healthy families are typically not like that, but many of you guys, your twin flame, the one you're supposed to be with, they are not, they come from crazy families. They were raised crazy. They have a mama like that woman on Get Out. Y'all notice how that woman on Get Out, she wasn't just control that one woman, that one witch was controlling everybody on that plantation. She had the power of mind control. And mind control for me, I think that people like that, I think that they still lack their own self control. I think that the reason why you want to control is because something else altogether is controlling you. So you have to learn how to control your own mind. But there's a lot of different scenarios. There is hexes. Some people have their exes set up to where some women have that man set up to where if he get with somebody else, it ain't gonna last. Okay, now this can primarily, I think that women use the poppet magic for that, and you can actually disable poppet magic and reverse curses from poppets. Okay. Um, there's also other forms of control like drug addiction, alcohol. Some of you guys as lovers are drug addicted, have alcoholism, have depression, they have anxiety, they have all sorts of mental illnesses programmed into them. Every mental illness was a program. If you notice that there's a lot there is a lot that people don't see about human behavior, and they're kind of perplexed about why the same things that were done to them to drive them batshit crazy, why it won't drive you crazy. They wondering about that. They like, why is it that this person ain't went crazy yet? Well, first of all, I meditate with Azazel all the time. I've started doing that to increase the power of the mind. Hello, Miss L. Oh, congratulations. Happy birthday, hon. Hey y'all, it's Miss L's birthday. You're a Virgo? Oh God, both of my parents are Virgos. Happy birthday. How old are you, Miss L? You 30, let me guess, 36? Are you 36? So romance is, what is romance? Dre Drizzle asks, what is romance? Romance is chivalry. Romance is respect. Romance is taking care of love and taking care of your lover. That's what romance is. A lot of y'all have business arrangements for relationships, and that's it. You're 39. Oh, see, I knew I could see a 6, but it was just inverted. Okay. I was seeing 36, but 39 is close enough. Y'all see how them skills, they kind of getting sharper. The older I get, they'll get even more sharper. Okay. So that's what's up. Well, happy birthday, sweetie. I hope you have a good one. That's so nice. He bought you a diamond ring. Did he get you some flowers and stuff? No, see, this is what you're not understanding. Is that nobody wants to experience love the way that any of you guys the that this the whole online romance crap that y'all doing, none of it would be my romance. None of it. None of it. So I don't know what y'all be doing, but I tend to ignore it. I ignore everybody else. Y'all ain't doing nothing closely, remotely to love. That's why you'll leave this earth unfulfilled because you're afraid to love somebody. You're afraid of it. Well, Dre Drizzle, if you have a personal preference to be treated like crap and to not be treated well, then that's your business. I don't know what personal preferences you're talking about anyway. Yeah, they are personal preferences. What's your point? What what is your point in saying why is this person arguing with me? Hold on. Let me block this person and we may have to block like 5 or 6 other accounts. Sorry. Zybel, they are 2 weeks behind on shipping, my supplier, so bear with us. They'll be there. Yes, ma'am. They will be there. They're 2 weeks behind because they're only partially open. Okay. Yeah, that's what I did. I blocked them. I blocked them, and hopefully they don't come back because that person is always in here trying to debate with me, and I already know what it is. It's a demon. Trust me. Demons. Y'all have to be careful. A lot of these demons are not trustworthy. Okay, they're not. Oh, he bought you some black roses. Well, that's nice. That's nice, hon. 10,000 in food stamps. What? Girl. That's funny. So think about that. Think about like when you do your love work, there's other stuff that you may have to do, and it's very complicated. The main thing that I've noticed is head work because a lot of them think, a lot of people think too much and they think too hard, and you start overthinking and worrying. So a lot of y'all will sit up here and look at somebody else's situation and directly relate it to yours. I've had that happen. I've had some crazy experiences in my life. Let me just tell you. So, removing outside influences is really important. And then also bad spirits. There's a lot of men and women that have bad spirits on them. I see people every single day that are demonically possessed, and they're not possessed by good spirits because those spirits are doing nothing for them, got them in some really bad situations. Now, most of y'all, I'm assuming you're going to be dealing with people that have their own place, their own car. Surely, if a person has those basic necessities, at least their own house, there's a lot of people that catch the bus, public transportation, then that person is going to probably be halfway there. Okay. If they not even halfway there, then I don't know why somebody would even waste their time on somebody like that. But, again, desperate times calls for desperate measures, huh? So I guess it's okay to, go out and, go on the streets and find the nearest homeless person and take them home with you. I mean, literally, there's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? So, but I think that if a person is somewhat sound, they're going to have their own place. They're going to have something going for themselves, right? But when you think about it, even with that, there's certain things, there's certain triggers, there's certain mindsets, there's certain, destructive patterns that you will notice in your significant other's life. Like, for example, I've done work for women where I've had to literally break the man up from his mama because he was having a sexual relationship with his mama. It happens. It does. It happens. And it was a generational hex because it had been running, that incestuous demon had been running through his family and her family for at least 3 generations. So, and that's a pretty bad demon. When you start seeing cousins and brothers and sisters get married and stuff in your family, it's probably time to leave town for real. Cause then you're saying, this is some strange stuff. Hmm. So, there's a lot of different, and you know what? Just because somebody, has that going on in their family, doesn't mean you're going to love them less. No, it's not. That isn't what that means. Love is unconditional. That's what love is. Love is not saying, "Oh, well, I don't like you because, you're one of your breasts hang a little bit lower than the other one." No. No, that's not love you're experiencing. In fact, don't even throw love in the equation. Love has nothing to do with the way somebody looks. This is the reason why people that hell, and let me just say something to all y'all normal women out there, just especially the beautiful women out there. Listen, if a person that has a birth defect can find somebody to love them, you can too. So, especially those of you sitting up there, you're sexy, you're cute, but you don't really want to open up your eyes to see what the hell is going on in your love life. And you'll sit around till y'all will sit around till y'all in y'all 50s, especially men. And then all of a sudden, ooh, I'm ready to settle down now. I'm 50. So again, that means that your whole life, like at least half of your life, depending on how long you plan to live, has went by before you, and then now you're suddenly, now you're ready to settle down because you've somehow found yourself, and many of you guys can't find yourself because you can't think straight. You can't think straight because somebody is bombarding you with this energy. You know what I do at least once a month? I do a head clearing just specifically to clear my head of all of the negative subliminals. People will put out negative crap, negative people, and you cannot, like, literally, it's difficult to not allow negativity to affect you. It's very difficult. It is, especially for some people. I know for me, I have a Virgo moon. When I say something, I stick with it. I'm also a Cancer, so I'm very loyal. So I don't switch up on partners. I can stay with somebody for years. Okay, that's why my ex wanted to marry me, because he knew how loyal I was. And, so I don't really understand all that, flipping and flip flopping. I think it's probably that you're not with the right person. Okay, if your man is flip flopping on you, either he got a demon on him or something. There's got to be some logical or spiritual explanation for why he's doing that. And I advise every woman, and I'm just kicking myself, make sure you get a lock of his hair and put it in that advanced witch's protection bottle so you can protect his head, because head work can take months to clear out, sometimes even years. You got to think that, especially if he or she was raised in a dysfunctional family, and the reason why they can't really give you what you want, even though there's love there, you have to think that they have been programmed a certain way for most of their lives. Okay? They've been programmed. So there's So you can clear it up in a few years. Like, for example, since I've been to Georgia, I've been consistently working on myself spiritually along with other people, because that's what we're supposed to do. And so it took me 3 years to completely unblock my creativity. 3 years to completely unblock it. It took me from 20, actually, it took me a little longer than that, but I'm just counting when I came here to Georgia, which was in 2015. It took me well, I'd say 2.5 years. I'd say more so 2.5 years to get, to completely unblock myself. If you've noticed, I've consistently changed. I look totally different from when I first got down here. Totally different. So, and it is spiritual development is what it is. And so I had to go through that process. So sometimes it can take years to get through stuff like that, to get through, all of the traumatic experiences, and then the words being said to seal the deal on the traumatic experience. Like if you were a girl that grew up with your mother and you saw her get beat up, and after she got beat up, she came to you and said, "Ain't none of these men no good. They all this, and that. Oh, they ain't no good." Then 9 times out of 10, being that you were told that over and over and over again, you're going to grow up to think all men are no good. So then guess what? You're going to attract no good men to you. You're going to attract that to you because that's where your headspace is at. And then, you know what I'm saying? So, hello, in top D man. Hello. Good afternoon. So that programming is what a lot of people are going to have to drop, and you're going to have to rebuild yourselves. You're going to have to stop carrying what you got from your folks. This is one of the reasons why I am completely separated from all family members, because they were set up, and most of your family members are set up so that you can become a statistic. Okay. Your mother or your father or whoever, they look at what you do, they think everything that you did was a mistake. God forbid you drop out of school. Oh, your whole life is ruined. They just feel like you ruined forever, just ruined because you didn't do what society and see. So a lot of us need to break free of that, because a lot of our parents were really negative, especially towards the children born during the 70s. The 70s and the 80s. Okay. So, y'all got to be careful with carrying all that. You got to start your own traditions and stuff. You have to learn to break free of where you came from, especially if it's very, very dysfunctional. Very dysfunctional. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, it just looked like everybody on a wild goose chase. And that's something that you got to break free of too. A lot of y'all have to break free of that, because I know that for me, I don't want to be bothered with nobody's crazy ass family. So y'all need to get y'all family members in check and quit being so complacent and subservient. Understand that otherwise they'll just run your life, your whole life. That it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's repulsive, to say the least. It's absolutely it's insidious is what it is. That's what we call it, insidious. Even when you go look at the movie Insidious. Okay, it definitely talks about that spirit. And if you notice, the father had the demon of he had his demons at the end of the movie. The demon, he was possessed by a female spirit, so that happens too. So a lot of different stuff can happen, and Instead of a lot of people, they just let they people go die somewhere or kill themselves. Why do people do that? They just go, no, Lord. And then they don't never investigate anything spiritually. They never do any kind of investigations to see what's going on. And then people are always so blind when it comes to really trying to figure out what the hell is happening spiritually. When you can look at things from a spiritual point of view, it makes a lot of sense. And that's why y'all creative energy is being blocked because of these emotional blockages and this insecurity. Where does it all come from? It comes from your upbringing and then also your bloodline. Like where your family came from. Where they've been at the past 3, 4 generations. Okay. And some of y'all just got messed up in this generation for some reason. So, that's why it's so difficult out here because, well, first of all, there's an actual demon that feeds off of love, that hates love, but feeds off of it. The narc demon, that's what that demon is. The narcissist demon hates love, but feeds off of it. So many of you guys, even when you find love, it just gobbles it all up. Some of y'all love energies are some people are stealing your energy altogether in your identity. That's why it's important to fight for your identity, for what you identify with. You don't just let somebody walk up to you and steal your energy. Okay, people are doing that these days because some people are burnt out. They do not have the capacity to even have a 3-second orgasm. They're messed up and they want your energy because they want to feel something. But in reality, they ain't feeling nothing. It's a lot of people out here that are just dead inside. Now, obviously, most people ain't. Most people, I'm gonna be honest with you. The zombies, they ain't getting no love from nobody. The zombies, I'm sorry. The people that are walking around here, the empty seaters. Many of them are. Some of y'all people have been cloned. Okay, it's a lot of different scenarios out here, especially if somebody come up missing and they come back acting strange and y'all be having these folks all around you having keys to your houses and stuff. So, a lot of the people, you want to look at the people that are close to you. And that's one of the reasons why you're supposed to leave the family and move, and be your own person. You're not supposed to be just up underneath your dysfunctional family for the rest of your lives. That's kind of ridiculous to me that people actually have that expectation. So, if a person is not aware of the programming that they're under and you can see it and you like, Lord help this person, but I still love them. Good Lord. It does get better. If you do love that person, you don't give up on them. You actually try to get some help for them. Doing love work on a person that is scared to death of love, or doing love work on a person that has sexual trauma, what do you think that's going to do to them? So a lot of people always think, oh, the solution is love work. Not all the time. Sometimes people need a cleanse. Sometimes people need a soul return. Okay, some people done had their spirit, or AKA their soul, snatched right out of their body, and they have no idea. But spiritualists can tell when somebody's been gutted like a fish, because they will behave all sorts of ways. Okay. Now, a lot of you men are not A lot of you men and women are not using your third eye when you're looking for love either. You're using your eyes, and they can be deceiving, especially for men. They'll think they with a beautiful woman and they are with the nastiest looking creature walking the earth. This has been well documented by paranormal specialists and people that seers that can see people's soul, and they can see when it's nasty and just bleh, just probably shouldn't even be, probably trying to figure out how the hell this person inhabits a human body. Okay, it looks weird, almost alien like. It's bizarre, but I mean, that's the truth of the matter, is that they kind of depicted that. They didn't kind of depict it. They depicted it in that movie with Jack Nicholson. I know that's just a movie, but it still makes sense, don't it? Um, where he walks, that this woman walks up to him and she's all beautiful and he's kissing her and he looks at her again and it's like she's like decayed. So, that those kinds of trickster spirits are out there. They are. They are out there and they are being deceitful. And you can tell when it's deceiving you because that's all it does is deceive you. What positive words does it have for you ever? Not really, not ever. It wants to keep you in some kind of spiritual turmoil. And a lot of people, for some reason, have become sexually programmed by that ridiculous behavior. And that's not love that you're experiencing. That is perversion. That is a perversion of love. Okay. Because all it does is make everybody unhappy. So, when people can get rid of those demons, then they can come together in love. As long as you got those demons there, it's going to be very, very difficult. So, people, I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of these men are walking, talking, demonically possessed people. They are just walking around with demons. They really are. Very negative. Don't know what the hell they talking about. And it's sad, but it's the truth. Okay, this is really what led to a lot of the lesbianism too, because there's factually a shortage of men, especially being that most of them fill up the prisons, and they say that the Bible and religion is the way to go, and so unfortunately this is this is the result of that we have going on, to where witchcraft is needed, just to have the life that you want. Nobody wants to be in a fake relationship with somebody. Nobody wants to be in an unhappy relationship with somebody. People want to be happy and fulfilled. Nobody wants to be sad and depressed and sick all the time. Okay, but that's where people are going, and especially with this whole corona thing, people being sick, period. People that, I mean, hell, the same people that people been sick for years. Like, y'all know what it is with those sicknesses and those illnesses and stuff. There's an actual demon that prevents people from drinking water. I have an auntie that ended up needing um kidney transplants. I have an aunt that's on dialysis right now. She is not an old woman. She is on dialysis because she never hardly drank water, hardly ever. And then she was drinking alcohol. So that demon is telling you to drink alcohol and not water. That is a demon that you need to exorcise from your body. Now, these specific demons, can either be put on you or either attracted to you, or some of them can be around you ever since the day you were born, even when your mama was pregnant with you. The demon knows you better than you know yourself. That's why it is important to do the shadow work, which is looking into the underworld and communing with those dark energies so that you can face your fears and face that dark side. So, that can be very scary, and people can feel that when they're getting ready to go in spiritual battle. A lot of people that want their lovers will say, "Oh, I want love work. I want love work." But then when it's time to really go to battle, you don't want to remove what's blocking that love, which I'm telling you, it's a blockage. I have seen all sorts of things. I have seen people where they brother had them in bondage. Their own brother, their family members have them in mental bondage where they control their thoughts, they control their days, they control them whenever they feel like it. Now, imagine being in love with somebody that's under control of someone else. Imagine that. That's not going to be a very good feeling, is it? It's not. So, that's why you have to remove those outside energies. Um, Now, I will tell you that if you have a dysfunctional family, if you have very, very negative people that are bringing negative energy into your life, blocking your love, for me personally, they got to go. Anybody blocking my love or my money, my Venus, my Jupiter, my moon, my sun, you got to get the hell on somewhere. A lot of y'all don't know how to do that. A lot of y'all don't know how to cut folks off. I don't care who you are, family, anybody. I will cut your ass off, especially family that's trying to mess with your livelihood. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You got to go. You trying to kill me because food costs money, don't it? It does, and so does everything else that we want and need. Nick says, "Hey Nick, how are you, sweetie?" Nick says, "I'm pretty sure my dad's being controlled by some type of demon. That or he's just delusional. Ever since I was a child, he has always been convinced that my mother is unfaithful to him. His eyes are almost empty, just a cold, dead stare that's full of hatred. It's scary." Oh wow. And him and your mother are still together? I know how that feels when you're being faithful to somebody and they're accusing you of sleeping around, and you don't even want nobody else but them. That is a sickness, actually. That's when somebody, your father definitely does have a curse on him. Yeah. So, I know that for me, the experiences that I have had with that particular demon, it got violent. The man got violent. Literally, I was having things happen to me and being physically harmed for things I had not done. And then also, there were people that wanted to break up my relationship, but instead what they did was they costed a lot of people a lot of money. He ended up going to jail because they lied and told him that I was cheating, and I wasn't. I wasn't cheating. So, like the first 2 to 3 years of my daughter's life, he didn't believe those were his kids, especially my first one. And he took them to get them tested, and he came to apologize, but it was way too late. I was like, it's too late. It been too late. It was too late back then. Imagine being pregnant by and having babies by this man that is kicking doors in, kicking holes in the walls, kicking you because of somebody lying to him, telling him that you're doing something that you haven't done. In fact, he was the one doing the cheating. Now, back then, I was in my early 20s. I was practicing, I had practiced witchcraft before, but didn't really think to use it on that relationship. My whole thing was to make sure that I got my children out and make sure that they are safe because he was being violent and he thought he was justified in being violent. And I realized that it wasn't love. I realized that, I knew that very early on, but it's just the point, you know. And well, I don't want to say that he loved me. We loved each other, of course, but that love is now neutral. It's neutral, sort of. Oh, also sometimes you got to do work on your ex's mother. Sometimes your ex's mother, or his ex's mother may have put something on him. Happens all the time. For some reason, people think that old people are perfect or older people are perfect. No, they're not. There's older people that have obsessions. There's older people that have certain things that make them tick, and they can be very, very destructive people. So we're not gonna run around here and act like, oh, old people, we gonna help the little old ladies across the street. Yeah, of course. And I like older people. You know what I'm saying? But some of the behaviors that I've seen, especially if they feel old and ugly, they feel like, well, nobody's gonna want me, so I'm gonna sit here and hate on you. So yeah, we've seen mothers do that to their own children all the way from when they start developing. All the way from the time those girls start developing, the mother is putting the curse of that black evil eye on them. Because there's some people that just don't have much sense or self-respect for themselves. And this is happening in people's families too. And I don't see how, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see how I couldn't do it. This is the reason why, to continue on that pathway and to continue with that indoctrination just to have somebody to talk to. I'd rather talk to the spirits. I'd rather talk to my deceased grandmother. Is who I'd rather speak to. Okay. I'm sorry, when they talked about the zombie apocalypse, they were serious about that, and so this is really one of the reasons why we're doing the social distancing thing, why people are wearing masks, because there are some people that are walking around with horrible demons that they can spread to you through their breath. Now they call it the coronavirus, but this is like Judgment Day. So that's why a lot of y'all have to make sure that, yeah, put your mask on because you don't want to inhale that. You don't want to inhale that demon that's going around. It's pretty bad. They call it a virus. I see it as a demon, okay, that, is killing people. So, that's one of the reasons why they're not going to tell you that, though, that this is actually, uh, you know, demons are traveling through people's mouth because they're being unearthed. Then also a lot of the demons that have been holding on to people's throat chakra. Those demons, the throat chakra is highly being worked on right now by spirit, everybody's throat chakra, because too many people have trust issues. That to me is a lot of people's issues, is the trust issue. So somebody with trust issues, that's a very dangerous, very unstable person. Okay. And that person's mouth, that person's tongue, that person's body can be used for any purpose. People with trust issues have to be watched because they could possibly do anything at any moment or say anything at any moment. Okay. Trust issues are not just, yeah, and a lot of society will go along with the campaigns and stuff. Remember, trust no one, 2018, trust nobody, no new friends, 2017. They told you to not have any new friends in 2017. So what y'all did was y'all stuck with the old friends, and you see where you at right now. So you got to quit going along with trends and stuff. Stop going along with that stuff. Society is sheeple, please believe, that are ready to go along with anything. So going along with society and what society is doing, that's we are all finding out that that has always been and will forever be a huge mistake. Why? Because we are all individuals. That's why. Okay. And there's some people that are mentally ill enough to think that we are all the same person. No, we're not. We are not all the same person. We may all look like the same spiritual body, like as far as the fact that we're all spiritual bodies, but there are some of us that are at different levels than others. So I don't give a damn what nobody say. We ain't all connected, because I've seen people that they're just not. They don't seem to be tapped in. They seem to be somewhere else, going a different road. Going down this jagged road that is probably going to lead them to either a bottomless pit, a sinkhole, or either off a cliff. Okay, so if you are lucky enough to have a lover in your life and he didn't get killed or died, because you'd be surprised that all of the people, and it's sad what this demon has done. And then what's even sadder, when you see people, society, okay, when you see people going off to war, and you be looking at them, they got to say goodbye to their family, their wives and their kids, and then they go and they get killed, and it's like, well, what is it for? It was a sacrifice for the demon of ignorance. So this world is not near about close yet. Society is not close enough yet to stop, because the reason why they're at war is because they're scared. The reason why they're scared is because they're insecure and they have trust issues. These things have to be worked on, constantly. There's a lot of people that they're not paying no attention to what Jamila's saying. They own some other stuff because their minds is in the gutter. So a lot of y'all have to remove a lot of that gutter, trashy behavior that they are exhibiting. Okay? Seriously. And it's okay. It's not about, singing for the public. It's all about, some of the things that can happen in real life behind closed doors. Okay. So a lot of people have that negative mindset all the time when it comes to love. And, just like this person came in here and said, love is a game that we must win or lose. And it's like, you're talking about war, hun. And so a lot of people, again, you let things program you. Men and women are at war and they shouldn't be. That's one of the reasons why Mars is doing what it's doing right now. Mars is doing what it's doing right now because we have got to heal that planet. Then we've got the solstice coming up, where the North Pole is going to start vibrating. They say that it moves backwards, it's expanding, is what happens with the North Pole, is that I feel that it expands. They keep saying that it's moving, it appears to be moving backwards, during the Mabon or autumnal equinox. But I think it's what it's doing is it's expanding. It's something going on. Or, maybe something is coming out of it, so to speak, energetically. Anyway, I kind of got off the subject. It's all relevant though, but I'm going above y'all head. So what I was going to say to you guys is that sometimes it's not just about the love work. You have to go through the bad to get to the good sometimes. And people do make mistakes. Okay. Hey, Gaia Love. Women master the art of seduction. So if any man comes into love with a mindset of war, he will lose to any divine feminine, anyways. Love and lust is where men are weakest. Yeah, you're right about that. Yep, you're absolutely right about that. But also, not just the mindset of war, but many, many, many different mindsets. Because if I was a man, I would probably have one or two lovers in my lifetime. These men are crazy. The way they think they're going around spreading they seed everywhere is supposed to be what they supposed to be doing. So, I think that a lot of times when it comes to that, men need to be careful being able to be seduced too, because you have to think of it very logically. But yeah, it's a lot of women will take advantage of men who are able, yeah, it is a weakness. So, that's something that needs to be worked on right now if I was y'all. Especially, have y'all noticed that when men cheat or when they leave you, or not leave you, or when the relationship is over and they go to somebody else and they find somebody else, why is it that the woman that they find is always trashy? Have y'all noticed that? I think they do that on purpose. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, some of these women are trash. I ain't said every woman was divine. Hold on, I'll be right back. A lot of these women are trash. You can tell by the way they talk to, the way they treat and regard other women, themselves, their daughters, the way they talk about their daughters, the way they think about life in general. There's a lot of women that I would not be in the same room with them. So nobody's picking on men. Women, there's a lot of that. And for some reason, why is it that people are attracted to stuff like that? Maybe it was to prepare you for your twin flame, because that's going to be the hardest experience that you're ever going to have is with your twin flame, especially if there's a demon connected to the both of you. You're welcome, well blessed Jade. Hey Jules, yeah, they don't. And they also think that talking to a woman on the phone, they think that talking to women on Facebook is okay, but you're still exchanging energy with them. You know what I'm saying? And women can pick up on that. I know I can pick up on that. I can hear the whole conversation. I can tell. See, this is why relationships can be somewhat difficult for me. Like when I walk away from somebody, I really try to dead my feelings for them, because at that point, if I'm still connected with that person, I'm sensing who all they sleeping with, because for some reason they thinking about me. Like, why are you thinking about me? Why don't you do her? You doing her. Think about her. But that's very difficult because I can see everything you're doing. That's why I try to not see. Like, it's like, ugh, I don't want to look at what you're doing because you on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, being a psychic is really difficult when you can see, certain stuff. It's kind of difficult. You got that intuition. Okay. And, even if it's harmless flirting, even if it's certain things like that, stuff like that, psychics and sensitives and empaths, we can pick up on that. That's why we'll start tripping with a person out of the blue. And he's usually guilty, trust me. And he knows he's guilty. But it is what it is. People put up with whatever they want to put up with. Who the fuck's judgment is it? Like, I wish I would ever let. I swear to God, that's the one thing about me is that I don't go by other people's judgment. I go by my own judgment. I go by my own judgment. For real, and since I've become an adult, in which I had a lot of maturing to do, but for me, I think that I am very sensitive. There's a couple of other things that I could say. like some hexes and stuff that was being worked on me that I had to work off of me. But it is what it is. Yeah, I do. I have a tendency to feel when somebody is slighting me. I can tell when somebody is betraying me and all that shit. So if you can't be friends with somebody either, you probably ain't gonna never be able to, because being able to be a good friend to somebody is important too. That's why everybody always claim, oh, I was the best friend to this person. Yeah, right. They want to make themselves look more lovable. Yeah. Being a loyal friend means a lot. It does. And some people are too insecure to be loyal because they always thinking, oh, you're doing something to make me look stupid. It's like, what? So that's deep, deep, deep insecurity and demons. That's something demonic, you know. And then also people can pick up spirits. You know, a lot of people don't realize how they need to be spiritually cleansed. Y'all be going to these bowling alleys, these bars and stuff. Ain't nobody clearing and cleansing themselves. You got people out there that are totally clueless as to what the hell is going on. They'll be walking down the street. They don't realize that a portal can be opened, their soul can be sucked out of them, and then they walk back down the street soulless. People don't realize that kind of shit is going on. They don't really see. They don't want to see. You know, so a lot of people hate me just simply because I represent their spiritual gifts and I represent their knowledge and knowing, but they don't want to see that stuff. They would rather not see it. Okay, let alone talk about it. They've been talking about that adrenochrome. Sorry guys, I'm relighting my cigarette because I keep butting it out. They've been talking about that adrenochrome, and I've been telling people about that for years, how they have been getting blood with adrenaline in it, very similar to and see, I can't really, I'm not even going to bring that up because I don't even feel like the backlash is not worth it to me. But you know, if you scare somebody or get them riled up and you take their blood out of their body, there is adrenaline in the blood that people get high off of, but people can do that spiritually. That's why I don't let people upset me anymore. People, I have seen people just get a kick out of thinking that somebody is upset. Nobody understands why. That's the dumbest shit ever. But what it is it looks just like dumb, but don't take it for granted because what's happening is that that person is being fed off of at that moment. They used to love to feed off of me. They used to love it. I just show them fire at this point. Fire is what I show them. That energy is delicious to them. It is. It's delicious. Okay. When you get to explaining and they think they God at that point, because they are. They are. That's why when people ask me questions, I've stopped explaining myself because I'm God. You're not. The hell out of my face. Okay. But a lot of people don't know how to do that. They don't. And then also you got people out there that respect idiots and people that you respect that, like that's what you respect. You respect somebody that's playing childish games out of the sandbox. You know that the sandbox was filled with piss and germs. It was Pandora's box, actually. Yeah, I don't like for my kids to play in them sandboxes. It's all kind of pee and people been spitting all in it. Ugh, Lord have mercy. I don't like it. So, Jamila, do you think it's possible to have a healthy, balanced relationship being gifted in this day and age? Hell yeah, I think it is. But I think that so many people are in denial and they hate spirit. They hate the whole thing. They do. So that's another thing. The fact that men are so afraid of witches, men are actually not supposed to be afraid of witches because at one point It was the witches that were healing men with herbs and other things that they were making and potions and stuff they were making from the earth. But the reason it's all about the medical industry and shit, and we're not gonna get in far deep into that. But men used to go to witches to get healed. So it makes absolute because we're the only ones that can heal them. They'll just be a robot. They'll be like a RoboCop, if they continue at this rate, with as far as, that whole, transhumanism thing, they're going to be able to replace people's organs with things that ain't even normal. And you probably be wondering, well, where the hell are you going to put my original organs? So yeah, that's the first problem. And see, it's definitely a witchy takeover. This ain't no joke. You can see it in all of the commercials. You can see it even when you go to the doctor. The doctors are telling people to meditate these days. Even the doctors, medical doctors, are telling their patients to meditate. They're telling their patients, even so that's good. That's a breakthrough because otherwise, we'll just have a bunch of sick people making everybody else sick all the damn time. And that's not good. So the change is going to have to come, and it's going to have to come in many, many, many areas. And that's going to be one of them. So a lot of men are not very accepting, or they're not trusting of witches. And that is because, well, first of all, I don't deal with nobody unless I know that it's a witch. Like personally, like I only want to date witches, male witches. You know what I'm saying? And you can pretty much tell that it's in their bloodline, but many of them are underdeveloped. They're underdeveloped. They have underdeveloped spiritual powers that they don't ever use and would feel stupid about using them. They rather watch somebody else use theirs than them for them to use their own. I'm not enjoying being single at all, but I guess yeah, I'm not. I'm on self-love mode all the time, but I mean, it's still they taking up our timeline is what they doing. Just give me one more day. Just give me 2 more days. Just give me 3 more days. Just give me a few more days until people are smart enough to realize that you need to stop giving them any days. You need to walk away. So people, they, if they can waste your time and your energy, or take your energy or get you all upset and stuff, that's really what they try to do, and they want a reaction for real. Grown people, and I told y'all that we all affect each other energetically anyway. So I'll be darned if I'm gonna bow down to anybody and continue to go down that road, because it's just a waste of energy. But so many of y'all are dealing with people that don't have a mind of their own. They bipolar. One minute they got a nice demon in them, the next day they're evil demon. Schizophrenic, multiple personality disorder, fears, phobias. Phobias are very real. Phobias are, in fact, spirits. Okay. This is a spirit that you create. We have the ability to create demons and spirits. We do. So, even a lot of the demons that we deal with, that come in through biblically, those are demons that were created by people. Whenever you're faced with somebody and their demons, that is the demon that was created either by themselves, or you see kids where, people, create a lot of demons in kids too. Hey, unapologetic Ella. So, those things, you have to face those things. And most people walk around having no idea. Okay, they walk around having no idea. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go. My son just fell asleep to take a nap, so I am going to take one with him, like a short one. So I wanted to come and do this show because I set this show up like a week ago, and I've been so busy that I haven't been able to do it. So a lot of times, y'all that come to us for love work, I had some people that came for love work, and I'm like, well, we can do the love work, but you got other work you need to do, you know? So love ain't the problem half the time with a lot of y'all relationships. It's other stuff, other elements like trust, respect, honor, dignity, loyalty. And that's just not in some people. Why? Because it could be the way that they were raised. It could be the influences around them. It could be the male influences around them. It could be the female influences around them. Now, females is very different because females end up getting condemned. And there's certain behaviors of women that, and it is a double standard to where it's okay for men to cheat, but when women do it, it's the kiss of death, you know. And but I mean, that demon will make men and women cheat because it wants that unification to be gone. It doesn't want you to be unified in that way to where you know you are being rebirthed through that relationship and you're healed. It wants you to constantly be reminded of the past, and it's a trip, you know what I'm saying? So well, if you feel like you battling it every single day, you shouldn't have to battle it every day. But I know that the past 3 months, there's been a battle every day for the energy and the spirit of love. And the narc demon has been trying to get extra supply lately. And for you to need that much supply, you must be on your way out. I think the demon of poverty is destroyed and buried. Demon of patriarchy, and he's been kind of floating back in because you know, but that other the narc demon is alive and well in the minds and hearts of people. Yeah, they lie and and then they'll try to make you look feel stupid for being faithful to them too. Is the weird part about it. So that's a demon. That's somebody that's not, you know, thinking for themselves, you know, and they can pretend in the beginning, but you know, and just going through all these people, clearly that's what you are attracting to yourself, but clearly that's something that you have to look at yourself karmically too. Okay, because you know they want you to be vulnerable so that they can do what they want to do to you. That's the whole point of fucking up love, because love gives you protection. So does money. Um, gives you protection. They don't want you to have that, because if you have that, then they can't hurt you. They can't get the children that they need. If there were not people out there that were at a disadvantage, who would they feed off of? So they're feeding off of the needy, which is sad to say the least, especially small children. And they're definitely out there. I can imagine stories, you know, posted. You know, there's been a lot of recent stuff in the news, all kinds of awful demonic activity has been going on, y'all. And we're seeing public child sacrifice these days too. You know, they're not even pretending to give a damn about their own children, which is sad. So it's been beyond for the last 3 months. So many people have been dealing with challenges. Oh yeah, oh God, yeah. I know it's beyond 3 months, yeah, but I know that for some reason that you know something is on its way out because it's been a desperation, like a total act of desperation on a daily basis for the past 3 months. Just total, good Lord, what in the hell? So, and a lot of people, you can tell by looking at them that a lot of people have been on that, and they ain't been making no sense. The stuff that they've been doing doesn't make any sense, and the things that they've been saying don't make any sense. So anyway, that's what I wanted to come and let you guys know. You may want to, because I'll tell you during a consultation, and you'll be like, well, can we do love work to get them back? It's like, you need to do some other stuff. Okay. You need to do some other stuff. And yes, you do have to bind them to you. Also, that protection jar is pretty good too. You just have to make sure that you put a lock of their hair in it. So that's what I've been suggesting, because I've been talking to people that have been dealing with their twin flames, and the main aspect of that is cheating. And cheating can be forgiven, but it can be dangerous, because you never know if the person that he's cheating or she's cheating with is spiritually or physically healthy. That's a very scary thing. There have been a lot of people whose health and lives have been ruined because of cheating. Okay. So, yeah, and trauma. Yeah. But I think that cheating comes from men being sexually abused. A lot of these men have been sexually abused as children. Um, from the moment they come out, a lot of them are still getting the foreskin cut, which is trauma and abuse to the penis at a very early age. So there's your first indoctrination that men have to unfortunately face when they are born. Okay. If they were to ever start doing that to girls in the United States, women would be boycotting, and men, everybody would be boycotting. So to do it to men is crazy. And then when they get older, they're being told that they should sleep around with as many people as possible, because this is what makes them a man. So they've been taught all wrong about love when it comes to their mates and their love life. They're just like their uncles told them, well, don't ever be with somebody that you can't bring home to mama. But some of y'all, you can't bring nobody home to your mama. I ain't bringing nobody home to my mama. So why would I even, or my father? So why would I even go by that? You have to go by your own rules, like a lot of the stuff, and people still go by that, and that's why you're not getting anywhere. So, you know, I don't agree with, and when it comes to, you have to be careful, because a lot of people are trying to be their grandparents. They're trying to be either their grandparents, or they're trying to be, some older person in their family. Be yourself. So it's extremely important to teach kids to have their own identity. Okay, to allow them to be their own person. And a lot of people will say, oh, well, if you're not just like me, then you're making a mistake. Well, you know what? There's going to be a lot of your loved ones that are not going to be just like you, but you still love them and you still care about them. So, that's my whole thing about it is, I don't put up with people that don't accept me for who I am. So I think that's the first rules in the law of attraction, is to not put up with those kind of people that don't accept you for you. Why do I have to be somebody else? I can have my own identity. Thank you. So, a lot of people with identity issues, period, though, y'all, it's terrible. It's scary. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'm sort of booked for today, but I do have openings for tomorrow. I want to do that money attraction, money and love attraction. I'll probably do it sometime between now and and the witching hour probably tomorrow. I'll probably end up doing it during the witching hour. So I'm not going to be back until probably really late. If I'm not back really late, it's because I took myself to sleep because I've been getting to bed early lately. So, you know. All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. I will see y'all later. Thank you for coming to the chat. Thank you to Juana Felix. Hello. And y'all hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you guys need to reach me, all of my links are below. Also, make sure that you guys join into the Maybon ritual. And I ordered our Baphomet candle, actually. And there's some ancestor money. It was really cute that I saw on Etsy. So I'm gonna order that too. But I wanted to order that candle. I actually ordered it in brown. So, that'll actually go on our Maybon altar as well, which represents balance. Many people are not balanced. That's why you're single. That's why we're single. If you had balance, you would have a partner. You don't have that balance. Many of us don't have that balance. And we're not going to sit up here and go, oh, well, it's just because Jamila ugly. You just extremely ugly. No, they don't. What about all the beautiful people? Okay. Jamila ain't beautiful. Okay, fine. What about all the beautiful people out there? What about all the perfect people that are out there that, are having some issues too? Come on now. I hear you on that. Yeah, go ahead and cleanse yourself though, girl. Go ahead and cleanse yourself, okay? All right, y'all. See you later. If did nobody tell you they love you today, Jamila loves you, and I'll catch y'all at the next one, okay? Love and light.